Imagine you're in a team meeting and someone brings up the company's carbon footprint. Do you know how to contribute to that conversation in English?
Climate change is no longer just a topic for scientists. It's discussed in boardrooms, break rooms, and job interviews.
Today we'll give you the language you need to engage with this topic professionally and confidently.
Welcome to English in Context, episode 52. I'm Sarah, joined as always by William. Today's topic sits at the crossroads of two worlds, environmental issues and professional English.
Whether you're in a sustainability committee, a casual office conversation, or being interviewed about your values as a candidate, knowing how to discuss climate change fluently can set you apart.
We'll follow a conversation between two colleagues, Priya and Tom, who are discussing their company's new sustainability initiative during a coffee break.
Pay attention to the vocabulary around policy, responsibility, and urgency. These are the registers B2 speakers need to master.
Priya, did you see the memo about the new sustainability targets? I have to say, they're a lot more ambitious than I expected.
Tom, yeah, I saw that. Net zero by 2035 is pretty bold. I'm curious whether they've actually thought through the operational side of it.
Priya, that's my concern too. Setting targets is one thing, but embedding sustainable practices into daily operations is a whole different challenge.
Tom, exactly. I've been reading up on this. A lot of companies make pledges and then quietly backtrack on them when the costs become apparent.
Priya, that's called greenwashing, and it's increasingly being called out by regulators and consumers alike. I don't think we can afford to go down that road.
Tom, agreed. What I'd love to see is a cross-departmental task force that actually holds leadership accountable, not just a report that sits on a shelf.
Priya, I think there's appetite for that. A few of us were talking about proposing something to HR after the quarterly review. Would you be up for joining that effort?
Tom, absolutely. I think framing it around long-term profitability will make it easier to get buy-in from the finance team. Environmental and financial goals don't have to be at odds.
Priya, exactly. The evidence is pretty clear that companies with strong ESG ratings tend to outperform their peers in the long run.
Tom, well, let's put something together. If we tie it to measurable outcomes, I think we'll have a compelling case.
Let's break it down. First, greenwashing. This is a compound noun formed from green and whitewashing. It means presenting yourself or your company as more environmentally friendly than you really are. It's a very common topic in business journalism.
Backtrack on is a phrasal verb meaning to reverse a commitment. It has a negative connotation. It implies breaking a promise. The government backtracked on its climate pledges. You can also say go back on or renege on.
Get buy-in is a business idiom meaning to gain the support or agreement of key stakeholders. We need to get buy-in from senior management before we proceed. It's essential vocabulary in corporate environments.
Net zero. You'll hear this constantly in climate discussions. It means achieving a balance between the greenhouse gases emitted and those removed. Many countries and companies have pledged to reach net zero by 2050.
And at odds, this idiom means in conflict or disagreement. Their findings were at odds with the official report. Tom used it to challenge the idea that environmental goals and profit must always conflict.
Now let's hear Priya present the sustainability proposal to her manager, Karen.
Priya, Karen, do you have 10 minutes? Tom and I have been working on a proposal for a cross-departmental sustainability task force, and I'd love to walk you through the key points.
Karen, sure, go ahead. I've been meaning to revisit our sustainability roadmap anyway.
Priya, so the core idea is to move beyond just setting targets and actually build accountability mechanisms into our quarterly reviews. Each department would be responsible for tracking its own emissions and reporting back.
Karen, that's a sound approach. My concern would be the resource implications. Are we asking people to take on extra work without extra support?
Priya, we've factored that in. The proposal suggests a phased rollout, starting with 2 pilot departments in Q3, gathering learnings and then scaling across the company by year-end.
Karen, smart. I like the phased approach. It reduces risk and gives us time to course correct if needed.
Priya, exactly. And we believe that tying this to our ESG rating could have a direct positive impact on investor confidence. It's not just about doing the right thing, it makes good business sense.
Phased rollout. a very useful expression in project management. It means introducing something gradually in stages. The new software will be deployed in a phased rollout across all offices. It reduces risk compared to a sudden, full launch.
Course correct is a metaphor borrowed from navigation. Just as a ship adjusts its course when heading in the wrong direction, a team can course correct when a project isn't going to plan.
Accountability mechanisms. This is a formal phrase used in governance and management. It refers to structures that make people responsible for their actions. Without them, pledges remain empty promises.
Resource implications. When a manager asks about resource implications, they're asking about the real cost in terms of time, money, and people. It's a classic business English phrase for assessing feasibility.
Factored that in means to have considered or included something in a plan or calculation. We factored in the cost of new equipment when preparing the budget. It shows you've thought ahead.
Let's slow it down and practice some key phrases from today.
A lot of companies make pledges and then quietly backtrack on them when the costs become apparent.
Framing it around long-term profitability will make it easier to get buy-in from the finance team.
The proposal suggests a phased rollout, starting with 2 pilot departments in Q3.
Environmental and financial goals don't have to be at odds.
Quiz. Question 1. What is greenwashing? A. A method of cleaning eco-friendly products. B. Falsely claiming that a company or product is more environmentally friendly than it really is. C. A government regulation on carbon emissions. D. A type of sustainable energy technology.
Answer. B. Greenwashing is when companies mislead consumers or investors by exaggerating or fabricating their environmental credentials.
Question 2. What does get buy-in mean? A. Purchase shares in a company. B. Pay a fee to join a project. C. Gain the support and agreement of key people. D. Convince a client to buy a product.
Correct. C. Getting buy-in means persuading the right people to support your idea before you move forward.
Question 3. Why did Priya suggest a phased rollout instead of implementing the plan immediately? A. Because the company didn't have enough staff. B. To reduce risk and allow time to make adjustments if needed. C. Because only 2 departments had agreed to participate. D. Because the budget was not yet approved.
The answer is B. A phased rollout gives the organization time to learn from the pilot, course correct, and then scale successfully.
That's episode 52 in the bag. Climate change conversations at work require both environmental knowledge and professional English. And now you have both.
Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with anyone who wants to improve their professional English. It really helps the show grow.
Next time, making a formal complaint, one of the most useful and challenging things to do in a second language. You won't want to miss it.